giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite.
G'day and welcome to today's exciting episode. I'm hoping today is going to be exciting. We were expecting a delivery of the steel yesterday. As far as I know, it didn't arrive. So we're still hoping for a delivery. The guys are actually, I think it's the same fella that's been here twice before. He delivered our shed kit and our trusses. That's right. Yeah, so he said, you know, if it comes from a particular company, he's more than likely going to be the guy to deliver it. So we might see him again. But it's a nice fresh morning today. It's a little bit of fog around. I might get the drone up if I can. Sun's barely peeking over the hill. Hopefully it's going to be a great day for putting a roof on. I'm really excited to get this done. It's been a long time coming just to get things watertight. It's been constantly on my mind, having all of these panels exposed. So I'm really excited to get that finally. Can you hear the crows in the background? Really excited to get that finally watertight and all buttoned down. We'll get some temporary downpipes from the gutter pops. There's like 3 down this side and a couple on the back and maybe one on the other corner. And we'll just run them into a pipe that just shoots out over the edge here over the bank. We've got a bit of a slope here to get the water away. Being able to get it into downpipes and actually force it out over the edge would be great. But how's this for a corker of a day? Sun's just coming up over the back of the hill. Still got some hay bales, bit of fog, beautiful day. Oh, hello there. Thanks again for joining us. I notice we are getting a lot of viewers from the States, so I hope you guys are finding this interesting. If we're doing things differently to what you guys do over there, feel free to drop us a comment, let us know what you think is different, whether we're doing things better or worse, I suppose. But yeah, wherever you're from, thanks for joining us. Looking forward to getting some cover underneath here. That'll be really nice. Get some cars out of the weather. And a nice covered in area in the carport. You're still there. This morning's been eventful, but sort of uneventful. The roof didn't show up, so I'm not sure what the delay was. Maybe they just didn't get it ordered in time to make it on the shipment, but we have no trucks filled with roofing iron, so that didn't happen today. But a legend called Joe happened today, and he set up all of the brackets for the fascia. The gutter will clip onto the fascia, but yeah, absolute legend of a bloke. Had a good chat with him. He's a funny fella. He's been around the traps and actually grew up not far from here and has been at his craft for, I think he said 38 years. So good on you, Joe, for having a crack. Top bloke. So these are the brackets that he's set up for us. So they are the fascia brackets, and they go all the way around the outside and on the pop-up roof. So across the front, down the sides, across the back, there's fascia on all of those edges. We're going to run a small tank just out here. It's probably only going to be maybe 3,000 or 5,000 litres or something like that. That's going to have a down pipe coming down the outside of this wall. This is just going to be our house tank. It's going to run the house. There's going to be a separate pump on there. I figure the pump from, what is it, probably 50, 60 metres on the other side of the shed, it's going to have a hard time pushing water all the way up to the house, through all of the little pipes, how it's got to run through the internal walls and then down to the surfaces. So we're going to stick a separate tank here. That'll have its own pump. It'll gain a little bit of fresh water from the downpipes on the house roof. So we'll use water directly out of this tank. That'll get topped up from the big tanks by that pump over there, but that pump doesn't need to run all the pressure and the outlets in the house. That'll be done by a separate pump here. Most of the downpipes will go into the charge system, which is underground. That will fill those tanks directly. They've got the biggest capacity. It makes sense just to put most of the water into those tanks. But we'll get a little bit of fresh runoff from half of the pop-up roof and half of the east facing roof. That'll run directly into the tank underneath the carport. Anyway, Joe, the absolute legend, has got all of that under control. So what we're going to do at the moment is move on to something that I've been avoiding for quite a while. When we designed, well, we didn't design, when the architect designed our house, came up with the plans, looked at all the dimensions, we opted to have higher than standard windows. And we've mentioned them a couple of times before. They're sizable, they're 2700. So from the floor to the ceiling is full window height. It's this monster behind me actually. So this is a triple glazed window from Germany. It's in PVC. It has steel reinforcing down each of the uprights and along the transom and around the frame. The steel's there just to maintain, you know, straight edges and whatnot. And the outside has this aluminium cladding on it, and then that sort of protects the PVC from UV rays. So this ginormous window has got to fit in that nearly ginormous hole. The problem with this nearly ginormous hole is that it's not quite ginormous enough. So today's job is make more clearance. I've planed down this header. If you're looking at it from side on, right, this is level. The window should come up to it level. Unfortunately, this block is at an angle because the roof is at an angle. Therefore, the point up here, which is 2700, we need to plane this guy back. We need to take some thickness off this lower corner. And that's what I've done with the plane so far, but I can't get the plane all the way into the corners. So I need to work out some really dangerous way of getting rid of material from the corners that creates lots of dust. We like to call it man glitter. Creates lots of dust, blows in my face, gets in my beard, down my shirt, gets everywhere that's uncomfortable and itchy. And the most dangerous way I've found is an angle grinder. Well, look who decided to show up today. We've got some tin here. So that actually worked really well. I'm shouting, sorry. That actually worked really well, especially down the side of the OSB. So I've just used it to clean up these edges, and that's really nice and fast. You can just take a bevel off this corner, no more splinters. It'll probably clean up that top header okay. Need to take a fair bit more material off the other side, and we'll run a tape over it in a few places and make sure we're getting where we need to be. Same guy again, delivered our shed, delivered our trusses, and now he's just delivered our roof. All of the tin, all the flashings, the gutters, fascia, it's all over there, so looking forward to having that up. What do you think, Charlie Dog? You're just chilling out on the cold concrete. Snug, very, very snug. So that works pretty well. That's within a couple of mil, I think. We've got maybe 2 or 3 mil clearance at the top, and I'm just about to make a little bit more clearance down the side, which should be pretty easy. It's going all right. It's not quite as aggressive as I'd like, but that sort of makes it a little bit more manageable. It's fairly smooth, it's leaving a reasonable surface. And I can get right into the corner, which is nice. It was really hard to get a planer all the way out. I had to stop about 150 mil or so from the edge, just where the end of the planer was hitting this wall, hitting the side of the opening. Couldn't get the blades any closer, so I used the chisel on that end, and that was pretty obvious that it was blunt. But it's tidied up these corners. I reckon that's probably enough now to get us in. If we get the window out and it's still too tight, I can just run it over a couple of times and it won't take long. The edges of the OSB, where it comes down the side of these panels, was sticking out a little bit, as per example the first. You can see how there's a bit of a lip here. I can get rid of that lip nice and quickly with this disc and give it a little bit of a bevel, like that guy. It's not too bad when the wind's blowing in one direction. but when the wind comes blowing back, it takes everything off the scaffold back into my face. It's tidied that up pretty nicely, I think. Taking that edge right back, except for that bit there. That was intentional. If I was a wise man, I'd run the tape measure over it and just double check. So, on to the next one. You're just chilling out? Yeah, for an old dog. How's that concrete floor treating you? What is that? You all right, dog? You all right? Well, that's going to do me for the day. I'll do these heads another day. We're in no mad rush to get that finished. And it's 5:15 and I'm pooped. And might go and put the feet up and just chill out for a little bit, which would be nice. Actually, I should probably mow lawns. That's what I should probably do. Whether or not I do that I should do, or don't do the things that I should do, I don't know. We'll do something. It's a couple of days later. We've had some guys here putting up fascia. Got a gutter on the back of the pop-up there. So that's all going on nicely now. Some gutters and some tin would be really good. That should happen in the next few days. G'day! It's a few days later from the last time that I spoke to you. Well, for you it'll only be a few seconds ago, but for me it's a couple of days later. Most of a roof. Pretty exciting stuff. So the guys managed to get two sides. Actually, I haven't even seen the front. Maybe there's some on there as well. But certainly the pop-up. That's pretty much finished actually. There's barge flashings to go over the top of the fascia down the sides. And then the carport has got its entire roof on. And the east side of the house has got its roof on. Charlie's very excited about the roof, aren't you? What do you think of those screw lines, huh? Yeah, they're pretty good. Is that it right there? We have got a roof on the north side. Part of one, at least. They came up to the corner here, so they've obviously got to trim some more sheets for this corner. I know I don't often say this. Good afternoon. I now know what my wife feels like coming home from work to see all the progress that we've made during the day. I've spent the day, or last week I suppose, at work and left the roofing contractors to finish off here. So every day I'm coming home and finding new stuff done, and today was no exception. I've got home and found that most of the gutters are finished. There's quite a few flashings done. This guy beside me, the ridge cap that runs up on the hip, but it's nice to see the gutters on. It's nice to see the hips closed up. They've got the flashing on the top of the pop-up now as well. I'll take you up there and have a look at that actually. It's nice to see a little bit of extra strength in the side of this flashing. It's got quite a decent kick out on the side here, and then it mates into the top of the profile of the fascia, and that just laps over the top of the roof. Got the top of the valleys are all turned up, and most of the way down, well, they've only done one side of the hip here still. So obviously a bit more work to do, but it's really nice to see everything starting to get closed in and watertight and ready for more progress, I suppose. I know it's been a long time since I've posted anything, and it does feel like our progress has slowed up a little bit, but we sort of were waiting on these contractors to finish with other jobs, and I'm quite happy with the job that they've done, and quite happy that I didn't have to be involved with it to any major degree. So I think we'll close out this video where it is now. We've pretty much got the roof finished. I've probably got another couple of weeks of work and then we'll be back into it a bit more regularly. The next exciting episode is going to feature probably windows and doors. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're enjoying it. We hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.